and good day. Today I would like to talk about ikan tengas batu, also known as the Malaysian measure with the scientific name Tortembordius. The freshwater fish is usually found in clear, fast-flowing river and rocky bottom. It is highly valued both as a game fish and a traditional delicacy due to its streamlined body and shining golden scales. Anglers admire it for its strength and resilience when fishing. For catching ikan tengas batu, local methods include handline fishing using natural bait, bamboo trap, and cast net. Some anglers also practice catch and release. In terms of price, it ranges from 40 ringgit to 100 ringgit per kilo depending on size and location. To protect ikan tengas batu, local community use traditional knowledge and minor fish habit. Fishing is banned during breeding season. Efforts like river cleanup and reforestation help restore habit. There are also breeding and restocking programs to ensure the fish population stay healthy.
Kerang or cockles are an essential seafood resource in Malaysia, enjoyed for their taste and economic value. But how do we ensure their sustainability for future generations? Let's explore their harvesting, market dynamics, delicious recipe, and key sustainability factors. Kerang harvesting depends on timing with the tides and manual collection, where fishers use their hands or simple tools to gather cockles from exposed mudflats. Some employ rigs and nets for efficiency while ensuring minimal ecological impact. Once sorted, small or immature kerang are returned to their habitat, supporting population sustainability. The harvested kerang are then cleaned and transported to markets. In Kuching, medium-sized kerang range from 14 to 80 ringgit 50 cents per kilogram. They are commonly sold fresh for direct consumption or processing. Sambal tumis kerang. Kerang is blanched in a fragrant sambal made of red onion, dried shrimp, belacan, chili paste, and asam keping and simmered to perfections. While for kerabu kerang, boiled kerang tossed with red onions, bird's eye chilies, bean coriander, lemongrass, lime juice, and fish sauce for a fresh and zesty salad. So the first one is environmental responsibility. We must protect kerang habitats by conserving coastal mudflats, monitoring water quality, and controlling pollutions. We move on to social impact. Local fishers hold invaluable knowledge passed down through generations, empowering communities, ensuring fair access to resources, and promoting responsible harvesting protect both livelihoods and traditions. For economic resilience, fair pricing, sustainable harvesting limits, and ethical trading practices support long-term seafood security while maintaining the fisher's income.
Okay, hello everyone, my name is Jason. Now I'll present about the African catfish, which is the ikan peri Africa in Malaysia. They're actually not a native species in our country, but they are brought here for the farming because they grow faster, and then they can survive in all low oxygen, and then can adapt to our environment. we actually can find the farm in the place like Kelantan, Perak and Selangor. So the common technique for the catching method for the African catfish is African catfish are usually do not be caught in the wild because most of them is being raised and harvested through the aquaculture, meaning they will be farmed in the controlled environment like a pond and tank. So they will use the young fish for hatchery, and then the farmer will use the scoop net to harvest them when they reach to the certain size for the marketplace. Second method is the cast netting. The cast netting is like a menjala used in the river or lake, especially in the overgrow area. So this work best in the shallow or muddy spot, but catching the catfish using this method kinda hard and they need skill for that. So in Malaysia, they use this method to capture the wild African catfish that been released or been escaped, especially in the area where they overgrown by this species. So the price for the African catfish is usually the most cheapest in the Malaysia. So they usually just cost 8 to 12 ringgit per kg and can up to 80 ringgit for the packaging and clean the fish. Price are slightly slower, mostly in the place like Kelantan and Kedah. So the most common recipe for this fish is like ikan keli cili kering, and then keli bakar, which is the grilled catfish marinated with the turmeric and salt, grilled on the banana leaf to keep them moist and flavorful. African catfish is quite sustainable because the carbon footprint is lower because they are grow fast and do not need much feeding. So, but farm using the electric pump, they may increase the emission and pollution. But if the fish escape, they will harm the native species. So, farm must use the proper fishing and drainage to prevent the biodiversity loss. And for the catching method, most of African catfish in Malaysia are farmed in tanks or ponds, so the catching method do not harm the environment. Even the traditional way like cast netting are safe for the nature. Unlike the trawling method, this kind of thing is considered sustainable. So as long as the farm makes sure the fish do not escape and the waste is managed properly.
Pomfret, locally known as ikan bawal or ikan kilat, is a medium-sized marine fish with a flat, round body. Its smooth skin and fine scales come in silver, black, or gold depending on the species. Common types include the silver pomfret, black pomfret, and golden pomfret. It's highly favored in Asian cuisine for its soft, sweet flesh and minimal bones. In Sarawak, pomfrets are usually caught using drift gill nets, which float with the current. For larger operations, trawl nets are used direct along the seabed to catch bottom-dwelling fish. Market prices range from 10 ringgit to 12 ringgit per kilogram for black pomfret and 12 ringgit to 15 ringgit for silver pomfret, depending on size and freshness. Popular dishes include ikan bawal goreng, simply marinated with salt and seasoning, then fried to crispy perfection. Or try ikan bawal masak halia, where the fish is stir-fried with ginger, chili, and savory sauce. Unfortunately, pomfret stocks are under moderate to high fishing pressure in Southeast Asia. Many are caught before they can reproduce. To ensure sustainability, minimum size limits, seasonal fishing bans, and protected spawning areas are crucial. Besides that, educating fishermen and raising public awareness helps protect this valuable species so that the future generation can continue to enjoy the taste and benefits of ikan bawal.
Hi, I'm Eileen Wong, and today I'm excited to share with you why ikan tilapia, one of Malaysia's most popular freshwater fish, is more than just a tasty meal. It is also a story of sustainability, aquaculture, and smart food choices. Tilapia belongs to the cichlid family, and the two main species in Malaysia are Oreochromis niloticus, commonly known as Nile tilapia, and Tilapia zili or red tilapia. Though they are originally from Africa, these species now play a huge role in Malaysia's aquaculture industry, especially in Johor and Sarawak. Unlike wild-caught fish, tilapia in Malaysia is farmed using three main methods: pond culture, floating cages, and more recently, recirculating aquaculture systems, or RAS for short. And it's affordable too, selling for around 10 ringgit to 15 ringgit per kilogram. You will find it in local favorites like ikan tilapia goreng, asam pedas, or grilled with sambal. But here's the big question: is it sustainable? Farm responsibly, tilapia has a relatively low carbon footprint, especially in RAS and integrated farming systems. But like all aquaculture, it is not without its risks. Poorly managed farms can cause water pollution, and escaped fish can disrupt local ecosystems and biodiversity. That is why good management is so important. With proper biosecurity, clean water systems, and monitoring, Oreochromis niloticus and other tilapia species can remain a reliable, sustainable source of protein for our communities. So, next time you enjoy a plate of ikan tilapia, remember you're not just having a delicious meal, you're also making a sustainable choice for the future. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Ilanawan. Today I'm going to talk about squid. Did you know that squids are some of the most fascinating creatures in the ocean? Let me tell you why. First off, squids are cephalopods, meaning they belong to the same group as octopuses and cuttlefish. They have 8 arms and 2 longer tentacles used to grab prey. One of amazing fact is their ability to change color almost instantly. They use special cells called chromatophores to camouflage or communicate with other squids. Squids also have three, 2 pump blood to the gills and 1 pumps it to the rest of the body. And get this, their blood is blue, not red, because it contains copper instead of iron. They are also incredibly fast swimmers, using jet propulsion by forcing water through a funnel-like structure called siphon. And here's the wildest fact: the giant squid rarely seen by humans can grow up to 13 meters long. That's as long as a school bus. So the next time you're thinking about sea creatures, don't forget the squid, an intelligent, color-changing, three-hearted wonder of the deep sea.
Squids are caught using 3 main techniques: jigging, drifting, and trolling. Jigging is the most traditional method. It uses squid jigs, lures that mimic prey. Fishers lift and drop the jigs to attract squid. Jig color matters too. Light colors for night, darker ones for day. Smooth movements are key to avoid scaring them off. Drifting involves casting braided hooks and letting them move with ocean currents. It's great when squid are feeding mid-depth. Fishers adjust the depth based on water movement to improve their chances. Trolling is less common but effective for larger squid. It involves threading lures behind a slow-moving board, often using tools to keep them at a steady depth. After catching, squid usually release in just below the surface to reduce mass. Fishers then clean them by removing the quill, beak, and skin, making them ready for cooking or sale. In Malaysia, squid is sold either fresh or frozen, and the price depends on size, quality, region, and how it is processed. Fresh squid, especially grade A types, weighing around 250 to 300 grams each, usually sells for 32 to 38 per kilogram in urban wet markets. Smaller varieties are often vacuum packed for convenience. Frozen squid, like rings and tubes, is more affordable, typically priced between 9 ringgit to 16 per kilogram, depending on the supplier and processing method. Some online wholesalers even offer promotional deals on glassed squid rings. Prices often fluctuate with the seasons, especially during festive periods or when fishing conditions are poor. While fresh squid is preferred for dishes like sambal sotong, frozen squid remains a budget-friendly option for daily cooking. In Malaysia, squid is important to coastal communities, especially in Terengganu, Kelantan, Sabah, and Johor. Most squid are caught using jig, a traditional and eco-friendly method with little bycatch. To protect squid stocks, the Fisheries Department introduced seasonal bans, license, and fishing zones. But problems like poor data, illegal fishing, and weak enforcement still exist. Malaysia has made some progress, but there's room to improve. Plus, most people don't know about sustainable seafood, and eco levels for squid are rarely seen in markets. To protect our squid for the future, we need better rules, more awareness, and support for responsible fishing. In Malaysia, squid is important to coastal communities, especially in Terengganu, Kelantan, Sabah, and Johor. Most squid are caught using jig, a traditional and eco-friendly method with
Mud crab, or what we call as ketam nipa with the scientific name Scylla serrata, is a species commonly found in mangrove swamps and river estuaries, including coastal areas in Sarawak. It has thick shell ranging from dark green to black, with a large pair of strong claws. The species is nocturnal and can survive in both brackish and saltwater environments. Common catching techniques of mud crabs include traditional trap or what we call as bubu, made from nets or wires, let's say in river mouths or muddy areas with baits such as dartfish, netting or manjala, where the nets are cast in shallow areas during low tide, and hand catching, which still practiced by local communities, especially those in coastal area. In Sarawak markets, the price of mud crab can reach 35 to 60 ringgit per kg, depending on size and season, and female crabs with roll can range from 70 to 90 ringgit per kilo, and prices are generally higher in high-end restaurants or for exports, and it can spike during festive seasons such as Gawai, Chinese New Year, and Hari Raya. And popular dishes using mad crab is one of it is chili crab and mud crab in salted egg yolk sauce. Let's take a look at the sustainability of mud crab populations, particularly in coastal areas like Sarawak. Firstly, one of the main threats is overharvesting, especially of immature and egg-bearing females. This reduces the breeding population and affects the crab reproductive cycle. Secondly, there's the loss of mangrove habitats, mainly caused by deforestation and rapid coastal development. And urbanization and aquaculture expansion also reduce the availability of suitable habitats for the crab. And in addition, pollution from aquaculture waste and domestic discharge affects water quality, which is very important for the crab's survival. Lastly, water parameters like pH, salinity, and temperature also play a key role in crab health, and changes in this can negatively impact their population. To tackle these traits, several sustainable approaches have been introduced, and one of them is the promotion of mud crab aquaculture using catch systems. This helps reduce pressure on wild population while also benefiting local communities. Besides that, community-based management systems are also being implemented in some areas.
Hello everyone, my name is Muhammad Zikri Haizul bin Zulkarnain and my metric number is 80305. Today, my section focuses on stingrays, locally known as ikan pari, a fascinating yet often overlooked seafood in Malaysia. Stingrays belong to the Daciatis family. They thrive in both saltwater and freshwater, like the Kinabatangan River. Their flat bodies help them hide in sand, while their venomous spines deter predators. However, their slow reproduction makes them prone to overfishing. Next is the common catching techniques for stingray. Stingrays are caught using various methods. Commercial fisheries primarily use bottom trawling and gill nets, though this can damage marine ecosystems. More sustainable traditional methods include spearfishing and boobo traps, which have less environmental impact but are less commonly used today. Next is the market price for stingrays in Malaysia. Fresh stingrays will cost around 10 to 20 ringgit and can get cheaper in coastal regions like Terengganu or Sabah. And for processed stingray, can get around 25 to 40 ringgit because of its popularity for long-term storage and export. And lastly, stingray wings, especially for grilling, can get around 15 to 30 ringgit per kilogram, which is a high demand in urban markets like Kuala Lumpur and Penang, and maybe can costly even more. Three main factors influence these prices is size matters, larger specimens fetch premium prices, freshness premium, same day catch costs around 20 to 30% more, and location difference. Coastal prices are typically 15 to 20% lower than cities. Next is the common recipes for stingray for the locals. In Malaysian cuisine, stingray is prized for its firm, flavorful fish. Two standout preparations are ikan pari bakar, where the fish is grilled with sambal for a smoky, spicy flavor, and gulai ikan pari, a rich, coconut-based curry that perfectly complements the fish's texture. And lastly, for my part, is the evaluation of sustainability for stingray. While wild stingray has a relatively low carbon footprint, some catching methods raise ecological concerns. Bottom trawling in particular contributes to habitat destruction and bycatch. For more sustainable consumption, we should support traditional fishing methods and proper fisheries management. It is all from me. Thank you.